Hey, what's up, survivors? Welcome to another mind-blowing episode from Zombie Go Boom. I'm Chuck Murray.
I'm Charles Foltz.
And today we have a very special episode for you. That's right, it's Back to School 2016 Zombie Go Boom Extravaganza. And we have a lot of things that we're going to be showing to you. And we are really excited about it because some of them you might have seen last time, but they're a little bit more amped up. And then some of them are relatively new. What do we have today, Charles?
Well, this time we've got a supply box. It has a lock. It's got some metal on it. It might do the trick. We've also got a padlock. This is pretty awesome. And we've also got this metal protractor and compass set. And we've got pair of pencils, and these pencils are a little thicker than normal pencils, so it might yield different results than the last test. We've also got a pair of shoes, because what kid doesn't get new shoes for school, right?
That's right, and just a few notes, the pencils are a little bit thicker than the ones that we tested last time, so they might have a better chance. They might actually have a worse chance because of resistance. We also have the metal protractor set, and the difference is that last time we tested a plastic set, this time it's metal, so it probably has a better chance. And we've tested the lock before in many different ways. We put the lock in a sock, we've put the lock in a t-shirt. The way that we do it today might actually surprise you, but it's all gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it, and let's get started. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Let's do it.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if you mixed Mythbusters with The Walking Dead? We are Zombie Go Boom, filmmakers and zombie survival enthusiasts. Using our scientifically accurate zombie heads, we put retail weapons, homemade weapons, and everyday objects to the test in order to see what will save you during the zombie apocalypse, survive, protect, and kick undead ass.
All right, we're here at the testing facility. We're ready to rock, but before we do, I just wanted to let you guys know that this Tim head right here is purple because our alma mater is Fayetteville High School, home of the
Purple Bulldogs.
That's right, so we decided to make this Tim head purple. Shout out to all of you guys that have graduated or are currently at FHS. And who was your favorite teacher at FHS, Charles?
Probably Mr. Remmers, my art teacher, but he probably isn't watching this because he doesn't like zombies.
Oh, boo on him, but I'm glad he was a good teacher. My favorite teacher was Mrs. Griffin. She was my English teacher. We called her G-Dog. She changed my life. She was awesome. Shout out to you, Mrs. Griffin. All right, so what are we going to be testing first?
First, we got these shoes. I'm going to hold it like this, hit them a couple times, see what that does. Turn it around, hold it like this, see if that makes a difference. Then I'm going to hold both the shoes by the laces and hit them with that because I think it'll look cool in slow motion.
All right, I can't wait. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Okay, let's go. Nice. That was solid.
Nothing!
Whoa.
Nothing again. Now we're going to use both the shoes at the same time.
That was bullshit.
Oh, that sucks.
Alright, that last strike was even worse than the first two. Obviously the shoes are a bust. We're going to move on to the next object.
All right, Charles, what do we have next?
Next we've got this aluminum protractor. I'm going to hold it like this and just punch in the temple with the corner here and see if that works. It just bent just a little bit. I think it's still usable though.
Well, at least it didn't snap. Plastic will snap. This at least gave way, but let's see what damage we got out of it. Yeah, we got a cut here. You see? It definitely cut into the flesh.
Just a little bit.
But, I mean, it would hurt like a mother, but it's not going to kill a zombie. Not at all. Let's move on to the next object.
Well, that obviously didn't work. What do we have next, Chuck?
Alright, now we have this metal compass, and I'm going to try to go into both eyes just like that. Alright, one thing we noticed is that that little piece was screwed onto here, and holding the weapon this way would have made this piece potentially stab me in the palm. So we took it off, just a minor modification, just twist it off. You might need some pliers because it was pretty stuck in there, but now that it isn't stuck in there, I have a better chance of getting a really good grip on this weapon. Alright, so we managed to get kind of deep into the orbit. If it's a person or a zombie, they're probably blind, at least in one eye. The part with the actual spiky portion of the compass actually went in. The part with the lead, actually the lead gave way before the eyeball did. So, actually no, that's not true. There's a hole here too. So both of them went in. The part with the spike went in more. The lead broke on the other side, and yeah, not enough damage to kill a zombie. Enough damage to mess somebody up, but not enough damage to kill a zombie. So that Mo strike did not work. I'm gonna try one more. Yeah, it basically just goes in at the length of the spike, and that's about it. As soon as the plastic piece right here comes into play, it stops the weapon completely and pushes the target over. So you're not going to get any more penetration than the spike, which means that it will never in a million years kill a zombie. So what's next?
This metal box. Although it's made mostly of plastic, it does have metal around the edges, and this front part here seems to be metal. I don't know. I'm not a freaking box expert. But anyway.
Let's do it.
let's test it out and stuff. Alright, Tim's just fine, no broken bones or anything. I hit it on the flat part of this box here, and it's a little bent right there, so I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. Alright, still no damage, and the box is just fine, nothing happened to it that time. So I'm going to give it one more hit and see if it does anything.
Alright, so what it looks like happened is he managed to hit the Ivan head right on the temple, and then the cheekbone on the inside cut through the skin, which is apparently a very normal boxing injury. Somebody hits you, and what actually ends up cutting you is the cheekbone poking itself out. So it's more like an internal cut going outside, and that's what you can see right here. This cheekbone is just sharp, just like a real cheekbone, completely anatomically correct, and we have absolutely zero damage going into the cranial cavity, which means that this weapon would hurt a lot if you know how to use it. And this is a hospital trip for sure. This is like, how many stitches would you think this would be? Like 12 maybe? I don't know. Quite a few stitches there. Alright, but it's not a kill. So we're gonna have to try something else. Alright, so before we get started with the pencils, I just want to let you guys know that we are going to be making a minor modification. This is basically how they come in the box, but what we need is a much more narrow taper. And what I like to do with my pencils is I like to sharpen them with a knife, so that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. Sometimes I think how old guys like to whittle, and how if I start now and just whittle a little.
My whittling skills will hone before I get old, and I pwn on my friends at the retirement home.
We always hear that bigger is better. That's why we got the bigger pencil. We'll see if that's true. And we're going to test it out basically the same way that we did last time. I'm going to start with the temporal bone because the temporal bone is the thinnest and weakest part of the human skull. And then I'm going to go with the frontal bone because the frontal bone is the thickest and strongest or toughest part of the human skull. Okay, so wider pencil means more resistance on the strike. So this is as far as we got in. Lead is completely gone. And we have no blood. So the thinner pencils are actually a lot better, but I'm gonna give it another go with this twin right here. Same thing. It basically penetrated through the skin. It got completely stopped by the bone, and it failed. It was a lead failure, which means that it's a lot better to get a thin pencil. Now you know, thinner is better in this situation. All right, so we've tested a lock twice. One time it was in a sock, and that worked, and then the other time it was in a shirt. And also it had a string on it, and that worked. This time what we're going to do is we're going to take leverage and momentum completely out of the equation, and we're just going to try it like this, as if all you have is a lock and you don't know that you should tie something on it. Alright, so it looks like what we have is a tiny fracture. You can kind of feel it. It just gives a little bit. Definitely not enough to kill a zombie. Definitely enough to put somebody in the hospital or give them a concussion. It probably wouldn't kill a person though. So let's try one more time. Last time what I did was I hit it this way, and I didn't hit it as hard as I possibly could because I felt like there was a chance that I could break my finger, and the last thing I want to do is break my finger. So Charles suggested that I do it like a blackjack, which is essentially you hold it here and you whack it like that. And that'll probably help that injury not be a real possibility. Alright, so that strike hurt a little bit. I also hit it a lot harder, but essentially it went back and pulled my finger. Get it? Crapper pooping? Anyway, so it went back, pulled my finger, kinda hurt, and it's not a kill. Not a human kill, not a zombie kill. Definitely hospital kind of a thing, maybe. It's definitely seems to have made the fracture that was already there from the first strike more evident, but it's not a kill. Alright, so sadly we did not get a zombie kill this time around, but we did get some gnarly damage. Look at that cheek. That is a lot of freaking damage, and that happened with a pencil box. We did not expect that. That was pretty awesome. We did manage to get some zombie kills last year in our other back to school episode, which you could check out in the link in the description below. Please make sure you share this episode because that helps a lot. Subscribing helps a hell of a lot. And if you want to further help us, please punch the living crap out of that like button. And with another mind-blowing episode from Zombie Go Boom, I'm Chuck Murray.
I'm Charles Fultz.
And we will see you next time.